Hello, welcome to edition 18 of my blog, Andis Kaulins, here in Wuxi, China. As you can see, I got a special guest with me, my son. He's asleep, but he'll still be able to talk to me. Anyway, as we can say, today I got Tony's birth certificate. Of course, it wasn't easy, this being China, and I decided to give him a very long name. Not like I'm Brazilian or something, but anyway, because I wanted to honor a couple cultures and also give him an English name. Anyway, his full name, Anthony Arnis Peng Collins. The Anthony, of course, we will be called Tony, but we wanted to give him an English-sounding name. Arnis, named after my father, a Latvian name. Peng, named after Jenny's father, Chinese name, and of course Collins, family name. So Anthony Arnis Peng Collins was to be the name. And so, of course, when we got the birth certificate today, the lady typing it in on the computer said that the name was too long. So on his Chinese birth certificate, his name is actually now Anthony A.P. Collins. Now the A is for Arnis, the P is the Peng. So the A is not for asshole, the P is not for piss cakes. I know someone will probably think that. But anyway, hopefully, I hope down the line that when we get Canadian certification, the bureaucrats will, in fact, recognize his name as being Anthony Arnis Peng Collins, and they won't question me when they'll say, when I tell them the story about how on the Chinese computer, where in China they recognize only, short names. Everyone has a short name. I mean, you'd think with so many people that they would have longer names so they'd be able to distinguish each other. But they don't, for some reason. Meanwhile, Canada, a country that has few people, longer names. Still. No, I forgot where I was going with the story here. Anyway, yeah. Down the line, I want the Canadian people, some dumbass egotistical bureaucrat to believe my story and not make me drive 200 miles back to some town to get some affidavit signed by some Chinese lawyer. Anyway, very good. Now, I'd like to think I'll be a great father to Tony, but I'll tell you right now, I've just exceeded the minimum requirements of what other parents will do. Now, apparently this happened, same time, same place as Tony was being born. A woman came into the hospital, the number 4 people hospital in Wuxi. She came by herself. Nobody came to visit her. She had the baby, and she stayed there for the requisite 5 days. And strange thing was, it was rather strange when you think about it that no one would accompany this woman to have the baby. And yet, for some reason, the Chinese people didn't think anything strange of it until she leaves the baby, which was born on the 9th floor, so she could go down to the 1st floor and pay the hospital bill. Now, my wife has to do that too. We had to do that. We had to go down to the 1st floor. But what this lady did was she told them she was going to the 1st floor, and she didn't come back. So apparently, like, it was 12 hours later, my wife heard the story, and they said that after another 12 hours, they were going to phone the police and find out what was going on. And the darndest thing was, they didn't have women's ID. They don't actually in China, I guess, take your ID until you get the birth certificate. So the lady, I guess they assumed that she was going to pay, and then she paid a little bit, but the lady just didn't show up. Now, was it because the baby was a girl? May well be. Was it because she couldn't afford to pay for the baby? May well be. Could it be that maybe the lady just didn't want to have an abortion? She was supposed to have an abortion, she decided not to, and maybe she just made the decision that, well, here we are in China. I'll just make the baby an orphan. I can't have 2 children. If I can't afford to have 2 children, I'll just, like they say, I'll just have the baby born and I'll just run away. That's a theory I have. That's a theory I have. That's what I'd like to think is the case. Anyway, Tony, if he was a boy, if he was a girl, if he's a mongoloid, I wouldn't care. I'd love him. I'd look after him best I can. Now, I know I've been sort of playing this game on my other blog of sort of comparing him to great people, but really I don't care. I just don't care. I think what's important is he's happy. He makes other people happy. He's not someone I want to be ashamed of. He just works hard. I don't care if he just ends up being like a Joe Sixpack, but I just want him to look after his wife and kids, and hopefully hope he gets married sooner than me. I don't want him to make the same mistakes I made, and well, hopefully, or maybe he can be like me, make a lot of mistakes, but somehow do a few things right every once in a while. This is one of the good things. This is one of the things I've done right. Very good, very good. So anyway, on that note, that's the end of blog number 18. Thank you for watching.